Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're covering the best close quarters SMGs in COD Mobile, being the QQ9, the Switchblade, X9, and the Fennec. The CBR is overall more versatile, but these three will serve you better in close quarter scenarios. So let's say you want to play Crash, 3-story, or just any scenario that requires you to really dedicate yourself to a close quarters role. These are the three that we'll be talking about. Starting off with the damage, the Fennec is the lowest out of the three, dealing merely 23 to 12 damage, taking up to 9 shots to kill at range. Chest shots deal 20% more damage, which allows you to get insanely fast time to kill with only 2 chest shots. However, leg shots deal 20% less damage, so it's in your best interest to aim center mass and try to stay up close and personal. The QQ9 has a damage profile of 25 to 15, which is quite average for its class. Nothing special there. Chest and headshots deal 20% more damage, and arms deal 10% more damage. They can help to compensate for leg shots since leg shots deal 10% less. And finally, the Switchblade does the base damage of 27 to 15, which is the best out of the three. It's quite good, but doesn't change your shots to kill compared to the QQ9. Chest and upper arms do more damage, while the stomach and leg shots deal less damage, which means that getting one upper body shot is required to guarantee the 4-shot kill up close. Headshots are much more dangerous, being 30% extra damage, and they are quite rewarding at most ranges. All three of them have exceptionally fast rate of fire, so missing shots won't be as punishing. The Fennec is the fastest at 1111 RPM, while the Switchblade is noticeably slower at 845. And the QQ9 is the slowest out of the three, but not by a lot, at 833 rounds per minute. As for handling, all of them have the exact same base aim down sight time at 200 milliseconds, but they are different in terms of the sprint to fire time. The QQ9 has the fastest sprint to fire among the three, at 100 milliseconds, which is incredibly fast even for an SMG. The Switchblade is more standard at 150 milliseconds. The Fennec has the slowest sprint to fire time at 210 milliseconds, slower than every single assault rifle, and even some light machine guns, which makes the 5mm laser a very solid choice for helping this sprint to fire time. Being designed towards close quarters combat, all three of them have relatively poor bullet spread accuracy. The Fennec being the best one at 5.38 using the 11-point system. The Switchblade and QQ9 are a lot worse at only 4.26. These accuracy values are not that great, so it's best to stay within 20 to 25 meters. When it comes to recoil, the Switchblade is the easiest one with low kick and easy to predict pattern, going straight up and then leaning to the right after the first 12 shots and to the left after the 20th shot. As for the Fennec, the recoil pattern is very straightforward, as it goes straight up for the first 15 shots and then goes straight to the left after the initial recoil climb. But the climb is higher due to the higher rate of fire, and the vertical recoil control attachments such as the evaporator foregrip can be a good choice if you are struggling with the recoil. The QQ9 has the worst recoil out of the three, although not by much. The majority of the shots are easy to control as it is mostly vertical, but the recoil at the end of the spray is quite erratic, so dumping the whole mag is not advised. Still, if you're staying mostly to close quarters combat, you won't be missing as many shots, so having a need to dump a whole mag for pre-fire is not as necessary. Being SMGs, all three of them have great mobility, but Fennec stands on top, with a base movement speed of 5.14 meters per second, and the strafing speed being incredibly fast at 4.11 meters per second. The Switchblade is a little bit slower, but still really good at 5.01 meters per second for walking, and 4.01 meters per second for strafing. And last but not least, the QQ9 is the slowest out of the three, at 4.92 meters per second base movement, and 3.84 meters per second for strafing. But this is still pretty good, and with attachments, this can be improved quite drastically. Now moving on to the magazines, we'll only consider them with extended mags, as they are basically mandatory because of the higher fire rates. Fennec has the smallest magazine capacity at 40 rounds, paired with an insanely high rate of fire. This means that you will burn through ammo pretty quickly. Fortunately, reload is nearly instant at almost 1 second. The Switchblade X9 is a little better at 41 rounds per magazine. It also reloads pretty fast at just above 1 second. And finally, the QQ9 has the highest capacity, being 45 rounds, but it also has the slowest reload time at almost 1.5 seconds. To sum it up, all three SMGs have their unique strengths and weaknesses that can appeal to different players. The Fennec has the second fastest rate of fire in the game, phenomenal mobility, and absurd time to kill potentials, but it will struggle in terms of magazine size, hit flinch, and recoil climb rate. This makes Fennec quite good for those who love to play close quarters combat and breaking cameras left and right. Both the Switchblade and the QQ9 are more for general use, but the Switchblade beats the QQ9 in terms of strafing speed, reload time, and recoil, while the QQ9 has the edge in movement speed and handling, because the attachments give it more of an edge. But overall, the Switchblade is just a little bit better than the QQ9 for close quarters combat. Now let's talk about our builds. Fennec is pretty simple. We'll use the mono suppressor for sound suppression and range increase, and then light stock to improve the strafing speed, but steady stock is also viable to reduce the hip flinch. Next, we take the extended mag to get a 40 rounds per magazine, and 5mm laser to reduce the atrocious sprint to fire time. But you can also use the attack laser for better ADS time, but ADS is not the biggest concern with this gun. Finally, we added operator foregrip for better recoil control. If you really don't like the sights and don't have a good blueprint, you can replace the stock for an optic of choice. For the Switchblade, we'll be starting off with the extended mag A and the extended light barrel for plentiful benefits. Next is the light stock to boost strafing speed, and moving on is a tactical suppressor for sound suppression since mono barely makes a difference in terms of range, and finally the attack laser. The QQ9 is built quite similarly. We take the recon tac long barrel for range boosting, and then the mono suppressor for stealth and additional range. Next is the no stock to boost mobility and handling, then 45 round magazine, and finally the attack laser as a great option all around. That's all we have for today. We hope you find this video helpful, and we'll see you next time. Going dark.